Yo, it's Sway.
Sway.
Sway. Sway.
Sway.
Sway.
Sway.
In the morning.
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 Only on Shade 45.
Wake your fuck ass up.
Yeah. Bitches.
The author of the book A Deeper Love Inside, the Portia Santiago story, Sister Souljah is here.
Yes.
Now, Heather B., you were going to ask her.
Well, I had heard years ago, and I want Souljah to correct me if I'm wrong, that Jada Pinkett Smith bought the rights to The Coldest Winter Ever, and the film was going to be developed. And then Souljah, I've never seen the film.
I didn't see it either. Actually, Jada didn't buy the rights. It was Jada and I partnering on the project. And originally we were going to make the movie at HBO. And then the regime changed at HBO, and it kind of just never happened. And since then, I bought the rights back from HBO. Because I was like, that's mine, give it to me.
Right.
And they was like, okay, give us this chunk of money. And I'm like, okay, I'll just drive my house up to your office and say, give me my intellectual property back. So I still own the rights to Coldest Winter Ever, but we just never found the right team to turn it into a movie. But I was just talking to Will about 2 nights ago, and he was like, well, Souljah, you know, a lot of films have taken 10, 15, 20 years to get made. Sometimes that's how it happens for the great ones. So it shouldn't seem like, you know, don't personalize it like, you know, there's something wrong. It's just that this is the process.
Will, so he came out to see you, right?
He hosted me to launch A Deeper Love Inside in Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got Will Smith. The host, your launch, your book launch.
We go way back.
Yeah.
We go way back, yeah.
You know, it's interesting because Will, I'm a gigantic supporter of Will Smith.
Yeah.
You know, and I've met him a couple of times, and especially when he did the Ali movie, I had a chance to sit and talk to him. Guys like Will Smith, to me, get a pass. I don't care what they do.
Really?
As long as, I mean, unless it's...
No, I understand what you mean.
I like to watch his evolution. And then what I would love to see is you got guys like Will Smith, Jay-Z, Diddy.
Right,
you know, these guys have come from, you know, hip-hop beginnings who have become these moguls, you know, and things like that. I would love to hear his take on, like, Will Smith telling you sometimes movies take 5, 10, 15 years to be made based on his wisdom in the game. Is there any other wisdom that Will Smith shares with you or has shared with you that sticks to mind?
Well, our families have spent time together because, you know, I was married before Will and Jada got married, and we were all young, and my husband knew Jada and I knew Will, and so our families have traveled together and, you know, stayed together. When they did the Karate Kid, we were in China with them. So Will and I talk a lot, and he reads. He's a person who loves books, and he's really, really smart. And if he didn't become, you know, this huge film star or huge rapper, he was going to go to college to become an engineer. So he really likes science and things like that. So sometimes we would talk about how there's no blueprint for what we're trying to do. And when he said that, what he meant was us trying to be mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, and raise children, because so many of us come out of difficult families and difficult situations. We might not have real strong examples of how to handle ourselves and how to conduct ourselves. So those are the kind of conversations that we would have. And sometimes, you know, we would have debates between us. And it's kind of funny because Jada and my husband are very similar. And Will and I are very similar, which I know people wouldn't believe. But on a personal level, that's how it always was with us.
Does Will say, we are at war?
No.
I'm sorry, man. I just love that. All right.
He gives me a lot of love, which I appreciate because I appreciate men who are not afraid of me.
Oh, wow. Men be afraid of you?
Oh, yeah. They be trembling.
Damn. I just got the shivers when you said that. Sister Souljah has joined us. Shayla's in Vegas. Shayla, go ahead. You have a question?
Yes, I wanted to ask Sister Souljah basically why the long
hiatus from the coldest winter ever to, the sequel now.
Okay, people often say that I was on hiatus. It's funny to me because I work really, really hard, and the one thing I haven't had is a hiatus. Right now, I'm 5 books deep, and 5 is not a big number, but I try to make it so that every single book that I write will change your life. Like if you read this book, every single word on every single page, by the time you get to the last page, you will not be the same individual that you were when you read the first page. So there are 5 life-changing books. I took a detour from the coldest winter ever to focus on the character Midnight. And that was a huge project for me because I had to research it because he was a Muslim man born in an Islamic country, and the environment that he came from was unfamiliar to me. So I had to work really hard on those books. So I did 2 Midnight books. One was Midnight, A Gangsta Love Story. The second was Midnight and the Meaning of Love. And then after that, I looped around and picked back up the young sister Porsche Santiago. So that's the new joint.
And okay, so I want to encourage people to pick up the book. I haven't read Deeper Love Inside yet.
Okay.
What can you tell us about it without giving up too much?
Well, I can tell you that I grew up in a family of sisters. So one thing I know about sisters is we're not all the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so winter was cold. She was the coldest winter ever. And Porsche is emotional. So one of the drawbacks to Porsche's life is that for the first 8 years of her life, she lived with the Santiago family, so she was used to chilling. She was wealthy. They had everything. She had a mother, father, love, family, a big old house in Long Island, and the whole 9 yards. But when the father got locked up, the youngest children were taken and put into the foster care system. So Porsche was too old to forget where she came from. She was 8. She had 8 years under her belt. And like I said, when you grow up in New York City, when you grow up in the projects in the hood, 8 years is like 16 years.
Yeah,
so she was very advanced. So this book is about her very unique, very emotional, and very rough ride through the system where she just won't accept the circumstances that she's presented with. So she's like all fire.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.